How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Crypto is pumping here today. We're going to take a look at the market, take a look at some of the top news, some stuff that is happening behind the scenes that I think you need to pay attention to, and talk about what's coming next. So if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I appreciate that. Let's get right into the content. So obviously you can see the crypto market doesn't look like it's doing too much. It's up basically 1%. But when you look past Bitcoin, you have a lot of other cryptos that are actually doing really well. So for example, Bitcoin's pretty much sideways. Ethereum is a little bit sideways, but it's back over 3,000, which was below that earlier today. Cardano is up 12%. On the 7-day, it's up 33%. Terra Luna is up 3%. Solana is up 2.5%. So a lot of these are back to levels that we haven't seen in a while, especially when you look at Cardano over $1, Terra near 100, Solana near 100 as well, Polkadot back over 20. And we talked a little bit about why Cardano and Solana were doing so well yesterday. They both were part of a new Grayscale smart contract fund and are the largest investments, getting a 25% weighting each. So that has been pumping up those two cryptos. But there was some new news on Solana today. FTX and CoinShares launched physically staked Solana ETP. So this is going to be one of the largest crypto firms in Europe, and FTX, they're uniting forces to launch a new physically backed Solana ETP. So this is going to be great. It's going to give investors a 3% staking rewards boost on top of whatever Solana does. But keep in mind, you can usually get a little bit more than that if you just have it yourself and stake it yourself. But if you guys haven't already checked out FTX, they are a partner of the channel. I would highly suggest it. They're one of the easiest platforms to use, some of the lowest fees. They come out with new things all the time. They're giving away money all the time in all different kinds of ways. Definitely check out the link that I'll post underneath the video so that you can start investing with them. I do like them a lot, and they're doing great things in the community and launching new products all the time. Now, with all this though, we have a lot of big investors starting to try to get in, right? There's a lot of excitement starting to build up again, it seems like. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were really fearful, but there's always good news happening in the background. Some good news that's happening right now is U.S. investment bank Cohen launches a dedicated crypto division. So they have a new business. Cohen's new business is designed to offer full-service trade execution and custody of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other digital assets for institutional investors. This was just announced here today. We also know that Ray Dalio is also looking at investing into a crypto fund or starting a crypto fund. And while all this is happening too, we still have the powers that be that want to hold the power. So I'm talking about the IMF here. Argentina just approved an IMF debt deal that would discourage crypto usage. So they are restructuring a $57 billion loan back from a couple of years ago, and they're getting a $45 billion loan now. And there is a division in this that says that they are going to try to prevent or discourage the use of cryptocurrencies. Now, I don't think this is really going to stop anyone. Last year, they had record inflation of 52.3%. And they also have a great increase in the amount of stablecoin that's being used. So they had a 6-fold increase in 2020. So I think if they discourage it, it won't stop anything. They have rampant inflation. Sure, maybe a little bit less will be used, or it will be used a little bit less than it was going to be. But people will still find a way around it, and they will still invest in cryptocurrency because you can't afford not to if you're losing half your money, right? And with that news, we do have some positive news. So El Salvador obviously took Bitcoin as legal tender last year. We have the Bitcoin conference coming up. I covered this in a video earlier, but I don't think too many people watched that video. There's supposedly some huge news on the lower end. They say it's at least as big as last year's news of El Salvador accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, and could possibly be even bigger than that. That's coming at the Bitcoin conference here in a few weeks. Now, two countries that we know are looking at crypto or Bitcoin as legal tender. One is Honduras. They're giving some intent to follow El Salvador in making Bitcoin legal tender. Also Malaysia. So the interesting thing about Honduras is it's actually right next to El Salvador. So they are a fairly similar location. Could possibly have some different initiatives with El Salvador to increase the exposure of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in their country. And they're very close to be able to ask some questions and see how they're running everything. Hopefully we hear more news about this in the next couple weeks. Again, Bitcoin conference is 6th through the 10th of April. Don't forget too, we have Do Kwon saying that they're going to buy $10 billion worth of Bitcoin for the reserves. And I've talked about this a lot, but that's a lot of buying pressure. Whether it's OTC or not, there's still going to be a lot less on exchanges. It's going to be harder and harder to get your hands on Bitcoin. And I think that will be another great thing that's coming for Bitcoin specifically. We saw Bitcoin pump just the other day when they bought 125 million. Now, whether that was him actually buying non-OTC or whether it was just that news coming out, we don't know. Maybe it was some other kind of buy, but there's a lot of buying pressure that's coming for Bitcoin. Overall, the cryptocurrency market is looking really good. So it's been great to be invested if you've been in over the last month. Before that, it was kind of a difficult market to stay invested in. I know a lot of people that quit. They quit in February, and it would be kind of interesting. Last year in 2021, we had a peak in February for stocks and a lot of cryptos too. And it would be interesting to see if we had the opposite. We had a bottom this year, right around the same time. But Bitcoin around 42.5, I am still a buyer of. I'm still stacking sats every single week, multiple times a week. Ethereum is still way below its all-time high. I recently moved some of my Ethereum back into Bitcoin just because there was some uncertainty with the future, but it was still only about 15% of my Ethereum stack. I moved over to Bitcoin, so I still hold a good portion of my Ethereum. We also have a lot of other cryptos that have some exciting stuff coming. I've really been liking Luna recently with their inverse relationship to the rest of the market. It is an interesting one to invest in. And Solana is one of the top altcoins that I've really dollar cost averaged into this year specifically. Now, Bitcoin is still what I'm putting the most money into. That's really the only crypto I've been investing in over the last couple of weeks. But right now we are seeing a lot of relief in a lot of these altcoins. Let me know your thoughts about that underneath the video. I'm going to cut this off before we get to 8 minutes so you guys don't get that mid-roll ad. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.